Hello and welcome to my gym. This conditioning looks insane. You're friendly falling 15. But this is exercise make me strong. The heavy bags in Alexander Usyk's secluded training compound don't just sway from the impact of his punches. They convulse violently as if trying to escape their chains. Each thunderous blow resonates through the state-of-the-art facility with such force that newcomers instinctively check their own ribs just watching the display. This is no longer the flea-footed technician who outboxed Anthony Joshua over 24 rounds. This is a heavyweight force of nature being methodically engineered for one singular purpose, the complete and utter destruction of Daniel Dubois. At the core of this metamorphosis lies a sparring regimen so brutal it would make veteran heavyweights question their career choices. The champions team has assembled a rotating cast of 4 specific sparring partners, each meticulously selected to replicate different facets of Dubois's dangerous arsenal. One mimics the Brit's thudding body attack, another his deceptive hand speed, a third his underrated footwork, and the fourth his vaunted knockout power, explains head coach Sergey Lapin. During a rare break between sessions, we're not just preparing for one Daniel Dubois. We're preparing for every possible version that might show up on fight night. The sessions have grown so intense that the gym's medical staff now keeps cryotherapy chambers running constantly with sparring partners routinely spending 20 minutes submerged in minus 140 degrees Celsius temperatures after particularly grueling rounds. The nutritional program supporting this training would make a sumo wrestler. Usyk's team of sports scientists has implemented a precisely timed 6,200 calorie daily intake divided into 8 meals, each arriving at exact 3-hour intervals to maintain anabolic efficiency. But this isn't mere bulk. Every gram of protein, every carbohydrate, every micronutrient serves a specific purpose in the champion's physical transformation. His nutritionist reveals startling details. We've incorporated cold water fatty fish at precise times to reduce inflammation, timed carbohydrate spikes to fuel specific training modalities, and even adjusted his water intake based on sweat loss data from each session. The result, 8 pounds of pure functional muscle added to Usyk's frame without compromising his legendary stamina or cat-like reflexes. Technical preparation has reached levels of specificity bordering on obsession. Using advanced motion capture technology, Usyk's team has identified 3 distinct vulnerabilities in Dubois's defensive structure that they're exploiting with scientific precision. The primary focus is a devastating sequence that begins with a feinted jab to draw Dubois's high guard, immediately followed by a scything left hand to the exposed liver area. This combination is being drilled with such frequency that high-speed cameras capture Usyk executing it with near-perfect biomechanical efficiency. Even when blindfolded, they've even commissioned a custom-built dummy matching Dubois's exact dimensions down to his distinctive shoulder roll and favored defensive angles, which takes hundreds of these punishing blows daily. The psychological conditioning occurring behind closed doors would intrigue even the most experienced sports psychologists. Usyk spends his limited recovery time immersed in virtual reality simulations that recreate Dubois's fighting style with eerie accuracy. These aren't generic simulations. They're programmed using hundreds of hours of fight footage, adjusted for Dubois's subtle stylistic evolutions under new trainer Don Charles, reveals the VR technician overseeing the sessions. He's not just studying tape. He's experiencing Dubois's rhythms, his tells, his breathing patterns in fully immersive 3D space. When they finally meet in the ring, it will feel to Usyk like their 20th encounter, not their first. The champion's legendary footwork drills have evolved into something resembling a brutal dance of destruction. Where he once focused on graceful pivots and angles, Usyk now trains with specially designed resistance bands that apply 15 lbs of tension in every direction. These aren't the simple elastic bands seen in commercial gyms. They're engineered to provide variable resistance throughout each movement's range, forcing Usyk to maintain perfect form against increasing pressure. The science behind this is fascinating. When those bands come off, his foot speed doesn't just return to normal. It actually exceeds baseline levels for a crucial 48-hour window. We're timing this precisely for fight night. Sparring partners whisper about sessions that blur the line between preparation and punishment. 1-1. Veteran heavyweight who shared the ring with Usyk recalls a particularly harrowing experience. By the third round, I realized he wasn't just beating me. He was conducting some sort of macabre experiment. Every time I'd adjust my guard, he'd immediately exploit the new opening. It felt less like sparring and more like being slowly dissected. This anecdote is corroborated by multiple sources, all describing how Usyk has developed an almost preternatural ability to diagnose and dismantle defensive systems in real time. The body attack preparation has escalated to levels that concern even Usyk's own trainers. Using impact sensors embedded in his gloves and the heavy bags, the team has collected disturbing data, showing the champion's liver shots consistently generating impact forces comparable to a 25 miles per hour car crash. We actually had to dial it back slightly. The data showed he was risking hand damage from the sheer volume of perfect repetitions. That's when you know you've crossed from preparation into obsession. As September creeps closer, the intensity of Usyk's training camp has escalated to almost inhuman levels, transforming the facility into a pressure cooker of pugilistic perfection. The champion now conducts full 12-round simulated bouts under conditions so extreme they would break lesser athletes, wearing an oxygen-restrictive altitude mask calibrated to mimic the thin air of 12,000 feet, while the gym's climate control system pumps in blistering 90 degrees Fahrenheit heat to replicate Riyadh's desert climate. Between rounds, when most fighters collapse onto their